What's up everyone, welcome to part 3 of how to play Dwarf Fortress. I'm going to start this off saying that once again I forgot to do something. Right here where it says liquid depth, make sure that's set to yes. That way you can actually see how deep water is. Like when you're actually playing it and they're not all just blue squares, it ends up looking a lot better. So just wanted to quickly point that out and I'll see you at the game. Alright, we're back right where we left off. I don't know if this is where I left off on the screen, but everything's still the same. And what we did last time, we built some workshops, we got food stockpiles and farms, and we built a few staircases a few levels down. So now what we're going to want to do, just a quick little thing, hit P for stockpiles again, hit W, and we'll just make a wood stockpile so our dwarves will bring wood down underground where it's safe. We'll have that there. Now, oh, I don't think I went over this. Hotkeys, what they are, if you press H, you have these hotkeys. And basically wherever they are, you can set them so that when you quickly press it, it'll just zoom right there. So right when you start off, F1 is where your wagon was. And we happen to build it right here, so F1 goes right above our fort where that is. But what we do is, if we hit Z while we have it set, it'll just set it. So if we go down a layer, we can set this. What we do is we hit F2, then we hit Z, and now every time we hit F2, it'll immediately jump right here. So we can rename this. We'll just call this floor 1, hit enter. You don't really have to name them, but I like to. So hit escape and you'll see F1 up top side, F2 is first layer underground. So now what we're going to want to do is pause, hit Q, we'll go to the craft dwarfs, we'll make these things. You can go into different categories. The first thing we're going to make is G, and we'll make some nest boxes. These are for chickens. If you remember, we brought 4 hens with us and they'll lay eggs, but they need nest boxes to do that. So we'll let our craft dwarf do that. And our carpenter's still making beds, so we'll see when those are done. We built some tables, so I built 2 more tables and 2 more chairs and some more doors. So hit space to resume. Now what you can do is, we're going to want right here to be our dormitory for our dwarves, so we're going to want to have some doors for them. So we built some doors. If we hit B, which is the building, this is also where you build furniture. So if we hit D for door, the little cursor we put it next to a wall like this, and we hit enter, and it selects all the doors, and on the right is a list of all the doors we've made. So 2 dolomite doors, if they're just basic rock, you can just use any. So just hit enter and you'll use it, and we'll do it again for double doors. And now our double doors will be ready, and I think we have 1 bed. Yeah, it works the same. Just hit B, we'll put it right in the corner over here. So here we have 2 different lists. You can use plus and minus to select which one. We'll just use all their beds for that one. Hit B again, we'll put that there, and we'll also set up a table. Yeah, and this will be the dining room. We'll also have our dwarves' temporary dining room in here. We'll make a much nicer one later. So our dwarves will find wherever they're stored and put them wherever we told them to build it. And like I showed you, we changed the water heights. Now you can see these are all 7s. That's like the standard depth. If you start like channeling it out, it'll spread out and start getting like lower values. And I'm sure I'll work with water eventually, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So now that we have a bed built, if we hit Q for buildings and we go over furniture, most furniture lets us build some kind of bedroom with them. So if we hit R to make a bedroom, we can designate the size. You can't really change the shape too much, but if you do plus and minus, it makes it bigger and smaller, and it'll stop at doors. So since we built doors there, it'll only stay that big. So we'll hit minus to lower it, because we don't want it too big. So that'll be good right there. Hit enter once it's done. And then you'll have a whole bunch of settings. We can either make it barracks once we have our military, but for now it'll be a dormitory, meaning that any beds in the vicinity is open use for everyone. We can eventually assign beds and make bedrooms for our dwarves, but we don't need to do that right away. And we have more important things to do. So we'll let that finish. And next thing I wanted to show you is up here we're very exposed. We're going to want to build some walls around our main stairways. So to get the rocks, we're going to have to go down and mine them. Now here, if we hit K, we can see all these things that are on this level, like some hematite, which is iron ore. We have some gems and a lot of dolomite. So our main staircase is the one more on the bottom right. So what we'll do is we hit D and we'll make these huge mine shafts. So hit enter to start right there, and then right in the middle hold on shift and go up a few times and just make a quick box like this. Well, at least this is the way I do it. If you think you have a better option, feel free to do it, but I just like to do this to get an idea of what there is, and eventually our dwarves will come and start excavating that. We can get a whole lot of rock to work with. Let's see. So as you can see, the dwarves are bringing down all the chopped wood right into the stockpile. So if we ever have to close the fort off for some reason, we can just do that. And also, there's some big animals here, like yaks and cows. We want those to have a nice little place to feed in, so another thing we can do is make these things called zones. So we hit I for zone, and what we can do is we'll make a big square for them, and we make this a pen pasture. So hit N for that, and if you hold down shift and N, you can assign specific animals. So bulls and cows, they need to graze on a lot of grass, so we'll only assign them, and anytime we get more animals we can just assign them to this, and then they won't starve to death. So escape done. And another thing we're going to want outside is a refuse stockpile. A refuse stockpile is basically just any sort of garbage that your dwarves see, like dead rodent bodies and just stuff that you don't want to be around. Like, they're these little purple things. If you're using my texture pack, these are firefly remains, these are toad remains, just, yeah, things you wouldn't really want around your dwarves. And if they build up, especially in places like the food stockpile, then, yeah, I just finished downloading Half-Life 2 Episode 2. I don't want to get too off topic, but there's some nice deals at Steam. You should probably check those out. Things up to like 75% off, it's really nice. Anyway, back on topic, there's some rat remains. We don't want those around. Our cats actually go around killing things for us, which is nice, because it's better to have rat remains than an actual rat in our food stockpile. But eventually, if a dwarf sees it, they'll usually just take it up to the stockpile, the refuse stockpile. So, and that's why we brought cats, to make sure we don't have too many rodent problems. So let's see how many more beds got built. We have 3 more beds to build, so we'll just build those in the little dormitory, and some more tables or chairs. I guess they're busy. So if we go down a few layers, we can hotkey this place too. So F3, we'll just zoom here, we'll call it the mines. Good for now. So yeah, they're digging away, and look at all this rock we have. Now what we'll do with that is we'll start to work on our walls. So if we hit B in buildings and we hold down Shift C, this brings us to like these sort of walls, floors, stairs kind of things that we can build. What we want is walls. So it starts off as a 1x1 dot, but just like with the farm, you can change this with UMKH. So we'll make a wall all the way around our fort, which is too thick. So we'll start the basics right there, and we'll make it out of rock. The most we have is dolomite. So we can hit enter, enter, enter for all 20 pieces. If we hold down shift enter, it just uses them all up. So we don't have too much rock right now, so we'll just start small like that, and our mason will eventually build it when he has the time. But for now, we need to start, so that should be good. And our hunter just ran out of ammunition, so we could go to the craftsdwarf workshop and we add a new task. If we make in the wooden section, we can make some wooden bolts, which are arrows for the crossbow. So we'll make 5 sets for him. And every time you make 1 set, I'm pretty sure it's 25 bolts, so that should be enough for a while. Now, we brought chickens with us, and we want to be able to, yeah, like I explained with the nest boxes, but we actually want to put them somewhere, so we'll make a nice little room for them, right there. Make the door, and once our dwarfs dig that out, we can build our nest boxes there. See how much they're done with the mine. They're about halfway done, so my dwarves have stuff to do. I'll just pause the video for now, and I'll get back when something interesting happens. Alright, I'm back, and it's all dug out. I also dug out some more room for kitchens and brewery, which I'll get into, and some more room for other more advanced things. But for now, I'll show you, like I said, the chickens. So we want to build our nest boxes. So we hit build, and if we hold down Shift N, that makes a nest box. So we'll place them in the little room here for our chickens. We'll just put them in the corner because they don't care. So just build the 4 we made, all for our 4 hens that we brought. Now, like we made a pasture before, we also got to make another pasture. So we'll make a tiny little one right here. And if we hit N to make it in pen pasture and hold on Shift N, but instead of putting these big animals, we'll put the ducks, rooster, and all 4 hens. So they'll go there and they'll start laying eggs in the nest boxes, and the dwarves will just get them whenever they can, and it makes a lot of food. And like even in big dwarfs, just 4 hens could feed like up to 100 dwarves, along with other food. But anyway, I also wanted to build some kitchens and brewery, kitchen and brewery. So hit B, W. Yeah, they're in workshops for some reason. Now a still is where you make alcohol. So we'll just put that right there. We'll make it out of dolomite. And Z is kitchen. Thought it was K. So we'll just put that right here for dolomite. And we'll let our doors build that. In these bottom 2 parts, I'll eventually save that for more advanced stuff that I'll get into one day. But we really don't need to use that right now. We just need a kitchen and the brewery. So our kitchen is made, and our farmer chef guy, he'll work both of these. So at the kitchen, what we can do is we'll make an easy meal. And what these are, he takes 2 pieces of food and combines them, so that then it's a higher quality, and I think it's more efficient, because your dwarves can just eat the raw food, but it's not that good. And when they eat meals, they get happier, and you can make up to a lavish meal. But we don't have enough food right now. We gotta ration it. So we'll just make 5 easy meals, and once our still's done, we'll brew some drinks. Alright, now as you can see, our hens, and already, as you can see, this dwarf right here, he picked up an egg and he's putting that in the stockpile. Hit K to view it, and right there, 12 hen eggs right away. Alright, so we hit Q, and now we're at the still. We can add a task, and that's pretty simple here. Just hit B, and you'll brew a drink. Your dwarves, like I said, need alcohol to survive, so you're going to want to make plenty of booze. So we'll just make 5 drinks. That should be enough. And that's pretty much all you got to know for this episode. As you can see, our wall built. So I'll just finish it on expanding the wall. So B, C, B, capital C, W, and then just build the wall like that. Alright, make it out of dolomite. And we'll keep working on that little by little. We don't want to overwork our mason because he's got to do other stuff for us. He's still working on the tables and thrones and doors. So next video I'll probably just finish up the things like placing the rest of the tables, maybe a few other things. But for now, that's all you gotta know for this video. So thanks for watching, and keep on watching.